What would you fight tooth and nail for? What would you fight for? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to today 1,313 of What You Up To Now. Documenting the journey as I transition from brick and mortar, corporate world of business, decades and decades in both, into the online world of business. And then in 2020, 2021, because the world kind of blew up and everything changed, a little bit of both, back and forth. And I'll probably continue to do both offline and online businesses until the day that I expire, because I decided about 10 years ago, I didn't think I ever wanted to just stop doing anything. I didn't want to retire. After my divorce in 2016, whenever that was, somewhere in those mid-20 teens, I had the opportunity, after we divested ourselves of all the businesses that we had together, my ex-husband and I, to decide what did I want to do. I've always been curious about the online world and about the internet, and it gave me the perfect opportunity to check it out, to jump in and see what I could do here, what I wanted to do, what it meant to me, and kind of figure it out. Now, my original goal is to duplicate my offline success and how I define success online. And I will admit, have not achieved that yet. I did really well offline. So online, if I want to create the same exact results, it's a different game. It's a different strategy. It's a different plan. And the truth is, I actually probably went after it the same way I went after my offline career, in terms of exploring, investigating, trying to find out what I was passionate about, what I was interested in, who I wanted to serve, where, who did I want to work for, what did I want to study, where did I want to go to college, etc. Probably actually just thought of this, did it the same way in the online world, kind of just jumped in with both feet and started following different trails, and some led me down the wrong road, which I discussed and have talked about over the last couple of years, and some of them have been right on what I needed to do. The interesting thing is, the more I'm involved in any type of business or industry or life, I find that it's really simple. Success in anything is simple. Not easy, but it's simple. And we as human beings, me included, try to overcomplicate the living daylights out of everything. Everything we try to make super duper complicated. Every communication, every word, every picture, every meaning, everything we say, think, feel, do, we just make up all kinds of stories and complicate the daylights out of it. So the older I get, the more I'm trying to step back and say, okay, what's really going on here? If I were to break this down into a simple formula, what would it be? Is it A plus B plus C equals D? Or is it, it only has to be A plus B equals C. That's all it has to be. Can it be that simple? Can it be that easy? And then I test it out. I say, okay, yeah, it really is that simple. It really is a simple formula. Almost everything we want or do or want to create can be broken down to a very simple 4 or 5 step process. And I'm as guilty as the next person. I think the first Supersize Business, and I think it's still up, and I know it's still up, Supersize Your Business, at the beginning of the private group, there is a scavenger hunt. Is it a scavenger hunt or a treasure hunt? I don't remember. I put some kind of a gamification at the beginning of it, and it's like 27 steps long or something. I don't even remember now because I haven't gone back to look at it, but it's like really long. It covers everything, every aspect you need to do to grow and supersize and build your business. But it's like a super complicated formula. It doesn't have to be that hard. And so over the last 3 years now, I've simplified and made it easier to do everything. And I've made it easier and more effective to do everything in my own life as well. Is everything in my life easy? Absolutely not. Am I continually improving and working toward making it easier? Yes, I am. Do I like to create systems and things around me that make life easier? Yes. Do I like to surround myself with things that make me smile and feel good? Yes. Why? Because that helps move me toward the things that I want, moves me toward my goals and objectives. So our expression, our idiom today for Supersize Your Business was fight tooth and nail. And I couldn't find any savage beasts around me or any examples or any nails or really sharp teeth to demonstrate that, which I've noticed this week since my granddaughter's gone back to school. We packed up and boxed up all of her toys and organized everything in tubs, and so it's really hard to get at the stuff I like to use for props and things. So I actually went over to the pile today and I looked at it and I said, to get down to a little saber-toothed tiger guy with teeth, it's about 7 tubs. I'm not going for it. So I used my chicken with its head cut off and I pretend to bite its head off, which is really quite savage. So got into the whole, or I would love to have the whole discussion with someone else besides just myself this morning about what are you willing to fight for? What would you fight tooth and nail for? Meaning no holds barred, I'm going all in, I'm fighting till I make this a reality in my life. What would I fight vigorously? And then you have to define what fight is. Now, I have never, this is a confession, I have never ever, that I remember, been in a physical fight with anyone. Maybe my sisters, when we were little, we'd wrestle and things, but I don't think that counts. I mean, I am fighting with you, punching you in the face type thing. I've never been in a fight like that. Never been in a girl fight, never been in a girl-guy fight. I'm sure I've hit I hit people before. I used to punch people in the arm. Again, that doesn't count. It's not a real fight. But what would you fight for? What is something that you're willing to fight for? In the context of Supersize Your Business, I'm like, if you're not willing to fight for your business, and maybe it doesn't mean you're going to cross legal, ethical, moral lines, but if you're not willing to fight for and do what it takes to keep your business going, and a lot of people got tested in 2020 with the COVID-19 restrictions and stuff, and continuing into 2021, and who knows how many years will be affected. But if you're not willing to fight for your business, who else is? If you're not willing to fight for your goals, who else is? If you're not willing to fight for yourself and becoming who it is that you want to be, your goals and objectives, who's going to do it? If you're not willing to fight for things that are important to you, positive change, honesty, truth, good versus evil, goodwill, true love, persistence and patience, a willingness to learn from your mistakes, a mindset that's free, or a mind that's free of envy and jealousy in comparison to other people. What are you willing to fight for? Are you willing to fight for your life, your health, your livelihood, your dreams and goals and objectives? And again, if you're not willing to fight for them, who do you expect to fight for you? Who do you expect to fight for your goals and dreams and objectives and your being you, if not you? I guess the biggest one I would add to the list that I found was, hey, fight for the right to be yourself, and then be yourself. Go out and be the example for other people as well. So I really like, I never even thought about fight tooth and nail, but I really like the idea of fighting tooth and nail and deciding what is the line in the sand for me, because there's always going to be a line I don't want to cross. Now, I will admit, if someone was trying to kill my children, or my grandchildren, I believe that I could use deadly force. I could shoot them. I could whack them on the head. I could knock them down. I could harm them so that they would not harm myself or my kids, the people I love and care about the most. I will fight for what I believe in with respect to my customers and clients and the people that I serve, just like I would my family. I will fight for them to become the best version of themselves and serve other people to the best of their ability. So what would you fight for? What are you willing to fight for? That was our idiom today, and our annual challenge today, to do one thing every day that centers us, was about unseen beauty or unnoticed beauty. And I thought it was a great perspective. It was asking a couple of questions, because there's so many beautiful things around us all the time that we just don't notice. And it's grab my magnifying glass. What is your favorite sight? What's some of your favorite sights? What if what if I had never seen this before? And what if I knew I would never see it again? How would you look at and see your own face if you had never seen it before? Say you were blind and you had an operation and all of a sudden you could see your own face. How would you feel? What would you think about your own face? And then what if you knew you could never see it again? What if you looked at your face in the mirror and you knew that this was the last time you were ever going to see it, because you were going blind and you were having an operation, and the possibility was that you could wake up blind and never see your face again because you had eye problems or something? I can relate to that one. So I thought that was a really unique and interesting perspective. And I will say, I have thought the question and been delighted when I notice something that I've never seen before, especially in nature or beauty. Or I used it and applied this, and I thought, well, my grandchildren and my kids are my favorite sights, right? Even if they're being challenging and difficult, they're still my most favorite sights in the whole wide world. And I said, okay, well, I remember the first time I saw them all, and thankfully I've never asked myself the question, well, what if I never saw them again? So often in our relationships and in things around us, we just take things for granted and we forget to notice them. So I thought it was a great one today. Really, definitely a self-centering reminder of what is important to us and what do we not notice. Things like, what do we forget to appreciate about our own face, our own body, our own physical being, or what do we criticize about ourselves all the time? I gotta tell you, my poor face, I criticize it every single day. And so it gave me a little bit of a different twinge and perspective in thinking about, well, what do I not notice? What am I unappreciative for? What am I taking for granted in my life that I really should take time to notice? How often do we, see the stars or the moon or the sunrise or something beautiful in nature, and we totally miss it because we're so busy worried about something else that's going on in our life that really, in the big overall scheme of things, doesn't make one bit of difference. So that was our annual challenge today. I am testing out next year's annual challenge already. A little early for me to start that, but I'm doing something different. So I want to test it out over the next couple of months and see if it's something that I really want to do for 2022, and if it's something that will fit into my moves, my goals, what I want to fight tooth and nail for in 2022. And so far, excuse me, still have a cold, thinking that it is going to be something fun and different versus the challenge going along with the little do one thing a day books, which has been really helpful and fun for the last 3 years. This is our 4th year doing it, but not going up to the cabin anymore. Sold the cabin, so I'm not going up to where I found these books. Now, could I go on Amazon and look and see if there's any other books in this series? And I'm sure there are. I think there's one about creativity, and there's another one about, there's some that don't apply, like some about personal relationships, love and romance and things. And that doesn't feel like the area I want to work on, at least not in front of other people for 365 days, right? Maybe that's just a little bit too vulnerable and personal for me to go to. All right. Any questions? If you need help with anything offline or online, pretty much most industries related, you have a question about that and you've looked and you don't know who to ask, please, please, please reach out and ask me. I might not know the answer, but I guarantee I can help you figure out what to do next, who to contact, what to do, where to go, where to look, so you don't ever have to feel stuck. That's it. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow just to fill you in on what's going on as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of a business to the online world. Have an amazing day. Bye.